I have to talk on a topic like violence so that our hospitals become violence prevention friendly, I would say. So, sir was talking of Pahalgam, but I don't know how many of you realize that every month there is a mini Pahalgam happening in the hospitals all over the country, and many of the incidents even they are not reported. All senior people will be astonished that they must never have thought that a time will come that a 45 minutes talk will be there on, meaning I think we have a senior most gynecologist sitting in the first row, but the time has come. And there is a 2017 study which says that 75% of doctors, so maybe rest of 25% I would say that they are not reported. So I would say almost 100% of doctor, if not physical, even a verbal abuse is also a form of violence. Mahatma Gandhi said that even thinking about violence is a violence. Here we are facing physical violence in and out every day. The history of this violence was not very common in medical field before 2000, but sometimes it happens in society that the trend is set. We say in meaning a thing that starts somewhere and people get instigated, and when they see, and one striking thing about hospital violence is that the conviction rate, please mind you, the conviction rate of hospital violence is 0%. There is not a single case in the entire country. We are talking of law. So law is not going to protect you. It is yourself, and probably this 45 minutes talk that will protect you if you are attentive in next 40 minutes. I know that this is non-academic, but if we are not protected, we will perish. So to practice academics, we should exist first. So I think in this jam-packed session of academics, the talk on hospital violence deserves a lot of attention. So Dr. Vasant Jaikar, a known physician, he was shooted by a relative who was admitted in ICU for around 40 days. He was shooted in front of his home. Dr. Jaikar madam is a pediatrician. She was from Nair Hospital, now shifted to New Zealand. And one striking incident, in 2001, famous politician Anand Dighe, who was guru of Eknath Shinde, the past chief minister of Maharashtra, when he expired, Singhania hospital was in this condition, and it was totally shattered by a crowd of around 2,000 to 3,000 people. And Singhania hospital is in the same condition today. I think it is a monument. It is a living monument of how a hospital violence can destroy a hospital. This is my friend. I took permission and he said that you show my photo. I thought that I should not show his photo. He said, Amol, show the world. And this doctor has lost eyesight in one eye. He has gone blind after an attack on a government hospital in Dhulia. So bad. So I think it is high time we all come to the terms, to the fact that yes, we are very vulnerable. Doctors can be attacked, and why only doctors? I am researching since such a long time. We have rich CAs, we have rich advocates, we have rich judges, we have rich politicians, but the anti-incumbency against a rich doctor is highest among all the people, because I think, meaning people don't like if they see photos of doctors' families having vacation somewhere in Kerala or Singapore. I think the reason behind that is people have a deep feeling inside that the earnings of a doctor comes out of sufferings of people, and I think that is the mentality that doctors are the most vulnerable among all the white collars. So what has happened in these last 25 to 30 years? Who has changed? Doctors or patients? I think both have changed. The aspirations of a doctor from his life has changed, and the expectation of a patient from a doctor has changed. So I think time has changed. It is the time that has changed, and we have to change with this time. And as I said, if we don't change, we will perish. So patient no longer sees doctors as demigods as it was in previous time, but they see as mere service providers wherein they pay a money and they get a service out of it. So every patient can be a potential petitioner, and a gathering of around 3 to 5 people can become a violent mob. So you have to be very vigilant in your hospital about these things. So let us talk about now, since we are convinced that this is ultra important, very important, important as the worst nightmare in the life of a gynecologist is a maternal mortality, but worse than that can be a hospital violence which can deeply harm your self-respect. So ABC of hospital prevention: first is availability, second is behavior, and third is communication. Before going to the ABC, let us see common causes. These are the common instigating incidents wherein hospital violence is instigated or it happens in the hospital. First is sudden death of the patient. Either it can be expected or it can be unexpected sudden death. Expected sudden death meaning you have counseled the patient enough, and the patient is coming up, he is recovering, and then there is something that happens and there is sudden death of the patient. Second is patients are very smart. They know for which points the doctors are vulnerable. So when the discharge card is filled and the bill is produced, they start some planning to get away from the billing. So this is a very smart planning that is happening with the patients, that if we create violence, we will get away with that day, and then nobody is going to come to our home for billing. So this is a common practice. In fact, in Nanded, there was a racket of people which was caught by the superintendent of police and the commissioner, that they used to give offer to the patient that if your billing is 1 lakh, we will bring our people, create a scene, create a violence, and we will decrease the bill up to 60 to 70%, and you pay 30% out of that. This was a professional racket, professional thing officially going on in the society. Just think to what level people are going, and this is truth. I am not telling anything from my mind or anything imaginary. When a patient, serious patient, or a patient becomes serious, and you tell the patient to shift, who is admitted for less than 24 hours, is a common cause for violence. Again, this is one case which will shock you, but I have seen a case. Planned violence by a rival. Please don't do this. Even if a thought comes to your mind, go to the Gurudwara and वहाँ मत्था टेको, माफी मांगो और घर आ जाओ. Never do this, and it has happened with a person who is known to me. So just to decrease a practice or to demoralize a rival, violence is planned at some doctor's hospital. So whenever a patient comes, these are 3 golden, I would say a bit cruel sentences, but you have to say them politely but very firmly. आपने आने में बहुत देर कर दी है. You are a bit late to come. Patient बहुत serious है. Patient is very serious. आप चाहे तो मरीज को बड़े अस्पताल में ले जा सकते हैं. You may take the patient to a higher center if you wish. I don't claim that I am best in the city. I don't claim that I am best in Bidar or Karnataka. You have a choice. If you want, you can shift the patient. Because these 3 recorded CCTV, audio, video recorded sentences will save you from a potential violence when a mob comes to argue with you. After that, fill a bunch of consent forms. I hope most of you must have taken loan. Do you remember how many papers you signed for when you took loan from the bank? And have you read all the bunch when you signed? And why loan is so much mentally pressurizing? It is because you have signed something which you haven't read. they वो देते हैं ना, एक 40-50 पेजेस देते हैं फाइन प्रिंट में. So I think go with the same strategy, bank loan strategy, and take all the consents when the patient is admitted. One of my doctor friends, he told me, Amol, you are preparing an agreement for divorce when the couple is getting married. I said, yes, for patients, you have to keep the divorce papers ready when you are taking the patient in your hospital for admission. He said, Amol, what is this? What are you telling? Yes, this is the need of the day. If a bank can get signed a around 250 papers from a doctor. When you are playing with, when we are saving someone's life, why can't you get signed at least 25 papers? And if the patient is refusing, refuse admission. Tell them, sorry, if you are not giving consent. I think you can take photograph, or I can share the presentation afterwards. You can share on your groups. There are different things that can happen. Very simple, guarantee of good behavior with female staff. Let them read. Let them read that if you are misbehaving, we have taken a consent and we are going to take action on this. In case of sudden death, first thing you should do is inform the police. Call and have a very good, I think I'm going to come to that point, that have meeting with the police commissioner, SP, the inspector of your area. Let the association have a meeting and tell them, give them some free checkups every year to the police families, and tell them that whenever there is a sudden death, you have to come and report to our hospital. As soon as the police comes in the uniform, 50% of the environment, it gets settled down, because even now there is a fear of police in common people. Call for extra help from colleagues. Break news whenever there is a problem, whenever there is a sudden death. Just don't go out and tell that patient is no more. Break the news in a gradual way. Start resuscitation, and all these things should not happen that you are resuscitating the patient, something is happening, people are silent outside, they don't know anything, and then after 3 hours you meet them and you remove the gloves and you tell them, no, we have tried a lot but the patient is no more. No. One person from the team, he may be a non-medico, but train one of your staff for counseling who will go, take the relatives, place a hand on their shoulder and tell that, see, this unwarranted situation has come up. Other doctors are also coming from help. Have patience, we are trying our best, and prepare their mind over 3 to 6 hours for a news breaking of a sudden death. I think news breaking is itself a very big topic of around 1 hour, and we doctors are very weak. We take granted कि अरे उसमें क्या है, ये तो होता है. No. Billing of a dead patient, it's very important. I have a policy in my hospital that once the patient has expired, you may produce the bill, give the bill, but don't force them to pay the bill. See, meaning it's not that there are 2 or 5 deaths in your hospital every day. It is going to happen some time or the other. So don't force them for billing. Let them go. Tell them that we have a policy that, but produce the bill, because not producing the bill will again create an impression that there was some major mistake and you are trying to cover up that. Tell them that it is your choice to pay. And I have seen that when you produce, there are many patients who pay the bill in fact. Shifting a serious patient. What happens is, when we shift a patient in emergency, show them that it is not your need to, you are not trying to get away, or what we say in medical college, bat the patient. Don't be aggressive. See, whenever you smell a violence, it is always better to refer the patient. So, and alert the city, put a message on the WhatsApp group that there is such and such patient who has created violence. So, tell them, convince them that it is for their goodness and not because you want to get away from the situation. About billing, I think most of you must be doing this, but don't talk yourself. The doctor should not be one who must be discussing the bill and the concessions. Tell them that I have a dedicated and people are bound to come in small hospitals, that thoda paisa kam karo, just give some concession. Tell them that I have a committed department who is dealing with this. I am a clinician. Let me do my work and keep a 5% margin for giving concession with the department too. The thing should never come to you. Appoint a very good person for negotiations of the billing. Let them sit, order tea, give them water, talk some other things from where they are, whom they know, and kill time in the discussion. When they come, tell them that we have a negotiation time of around up to 4 to 5 p.m. See, usually people who come from other places, they want to go home by 6 o'clock, and all the rickshawalas and vehicles, they are waiting for them. So around 6:37, tell them that we discuss all the billing in the evening after 6 and do the discharge in the morning. So you kill the time, and then patient will not wait and they will leave the hospital by around 6:30, as all the transport services, they close down by 7 o'clock. So these are all the strategies that you have to give, practice. About availability, it happens sometimes that we are over available and at times we are under available. So there should be, you should be striking a balance of genuine availability. About communication, some common things and common mistakes, it should be strictly in a room with audio and video recording. And mind you, it has happened in many hospitals that when you want the recording of the patient for medical legal purposes, you tell that, Arey, when that patient has come, he had come on 30 March, and your staff tells, sir, त्या दिवशी lightच नव्हती. So at least the audio video recording system, computer, it should have a separate backup, separate power backup, not at least generator, at least an inverter backup in case the central power supply goes off. We have a very good practice in our hospital. We have a phone which is dedicated to only for recording the counseling sessions, which is mounted on a stand, and we record the session. We take the mobile number of the patient and send the entire session. Even if it's a 10-15 minutes clip, it is very easy to send on WhatsApp, because relatives keep on coming. Sir, my cousin has come. Sir, this has come, and they want to listen the same thing again and again, and what happens is you get irritated telling the same thing. So what you do is you call them, show the phone, give them, open the recording and tell them, please listen this. Go outside and listen as many times as you want the same counseling session. Have a session with every family at least once a day. Wrong or loose communication at wrong place. When you come outside the ward round and one relative asks, how is the patient? And you say, ठीक आहे. ठीक आहे, it means he is ठीक for that time, but he is bad. See, we think that we have counseled him for the previous days and he knows that he is bad. I think I have 45 minutes, so 17 minutes, 17 minutes have gone. I have a timer, so I won't cross. You should avoid communication by unaccountable staff. Your staff nurse, call them, take a meeting and tell them that nobody is going to tell the patient about the patient's situation. Only the main doctor and the designated doctor, only and only they will talk about the patient. Whenever you are explaining the risk, this is very important. Many times patients have small complaints that the fan is not working, the tap in the toilet is not there, or it is leaking, or there is no container in the toilet. These things are there. So please take this very seriously and make improvements and give feedback. Fill feedback form every day from the patient, because feedback form is the place where they can express their anger. Tell them whatever you want to write. You can write on that feedback form, so that they vent out their feelings, that the staff is very arrogant, somebody came and they talked very arrogantly to me. Call them, have a session and give and genuinely make improvements. And my practice is, whenever I get time, at least once or twice in a month, I just check the feedback forms, and we get excellent things, that you are not watering the trees around, the flowers have, see, these are the things that, because patients are ideal, they are just sitting there watching here and there what is happening. So they will give feedback even about your dressing, that you are not tying your lace. They are excellent observers, and people like to criticize doctors. So let them criticize simple things. If it is going to prevent violence and it is helping to vent out their anger against the doctors and the anti-incumbency, as I said, that the feeling that these doctors are enjoying, they see our family going in the Mercedes Benz and they see my patient is suffering and this doctor is going for a walk and he's going for a dinner with his family. So these are the natural feelings. After, as I said, select many a times a group comes, 15-20 people. So you can make out one person whose body language is nice, who is a bit empathetic. You select that person and you tell him that I will talk to you, give some importance to him, ask him, you want to have tea or something, give him some importance so that he becomes your spokesperson for the entire family. Okay, so he will explain, tell them that I think that you are wise among all the members, I admire you. So his ego is also pumped. See, all these things helps, I think. Keep these boards everywhere. you are under CCTV surveillance. Even if your CCTV is not working, I request that it should be working. At least put these boards in your hospital for today itself. For visitors is a very big problem in every hospital. So keep visitors passes, limit at least meaning 3 to 5 visitors, and beyond that, if the visitors are coming, we have a system that we charge 10 rupees for a visitor pass. So even listening with 10 rupees, they go have tea in the canteen and leave. It's better that they think that I spend that 10 rupees on serving tea, because anyhow you have to serve the relatives who are coming to meet. And I tell you, the person who instigates the violence is never the first degree relative or not even a second degree relative. The person who creates nuisance and tells that, "Arey, I know this doctor has created many problems in the past," is a neighbor's distant relative who has just come to do time pass there and who has no work. So this is the way you have to limit the relatives. I think we should have, like we have a intelligence department by government of India. We have developed a very good intel, develop a good raw in your hospital, intelligence, wherein they will smell the trouble. See, whenever there is a violent attack, it gets discussed somewhere or the other. So tell the staff that whenever you have such, because see, a violent patient is violent from the security guard, meaning a violent patient is a violent unless proved otherwise. He will start the nuisance right from the security at the admission counter, at the reception, at the hospital, that laboratory, everywhere. So many a times people, we have on our hospital group, immediately the staff tells ki sir, ha patient ni medical la gundhal gatlay. So that is an alert for you. So you have a separate protocol to treat him. So, and what we do is, we have a coding system. We have a red pen and we write H. H is a headache patient. We write a big H on the patient. So whenever you go on the rounds and you see the H, you are on a high alert mode. You check your heart rate, you check your language. Okay, so this is the H grading. I think like your whatever gestational score, you have developed this score, I think. Behavior, attitude while explaining. For residents, it's very important. I don't know whether we have some residents here. Because see, residents are already very much frustrated, and in that they are talking, meaning that female resident is talking with her boyfriend, she's planning something and she wants to explain the risk. I think please don't do this. Mind your behavior, because it is a very serious condition for the patient. Be very empathetic. The sorrow of the patient should be visible in your eyes. Have a touch them, tell them that we are like your relatives. So I think there should be a very good training to our residents and doctors and everyone. Use of mobile phones, please restrict. You are talking, you are telling something and you are telling ki अरे वो स्विगी पे से उतना मेरे लिए भी एक पिज़्ज़ा ऑर्डर कर दे. No, this is not done. Put your phone on flight mode or silent mode when you are talking, you are counseling a serious patient. Whenever I feel that my heart rate is going beyond 120 and I am becoming impatient, stop yourself and shift the communication to a calmer person. Tell them that I want a break of 5 minutes, and then let someone else take over. Or even if you take, there is a amygdala hijack which can be settled in around 7 to 10 seconds. So at least take a 10 seconds break, have a glass of water, move around, and then again continue the counseling. Because see, people are, as I told you, patients, instigators, they have a plan to irritate us. Believe me, they know on what things you are going to get irritated. After explaining all the things, in our Marathi they ask, "Pan doctor, we tell that the patient is bad, he is on ICU, he is ventilator," and then they will ask, "Pan doctor, तसं काही नाही आहे ना?" अरे बाबा, तसंच आहे, सगळं तसंच आहे. नाही, पण बाकी सगळं ठीक आहे ना? Patient is on ventilator. What do you mean बाकी सगळं ठीक आहे? So see, these are irritating sentences. So you have to deal very patiently. Behavior of staff is very important. Every 3 months, 4 months, give some basic instruction. Have small training sessions for them about behavior. See, simple rural sentences which are abusing to the patient. So using non-abusive languages. not saying अरे meaning ए चल ग, ए चल ओटीत तुला बोलवलंय, ए काय झोपली ग. So this language is not done. What policy we have in our hospital, because you can have meaning which is good for your cultural practices, we call every patient Mauli. Mauli is, we have Varkari Sampradaya, you know. So we call everyone Mauli, every patient. Mauli, येता का? माऊली थोडं शांततेत बोला ना माऊली. माऊली आपल्याला आयसीयू मध्ये नाही जाता येत, खूप गर्दी होते ना माऊली. सो द माऊली सेंटेन्स इटसेल्फ क्रिएट्स अ सेन्स ऑफ meaning belonging with the patient. Learn to say no to the patients when you don't see faith in them. This is very important. This is one app that we have developed, and we are in the process of making it finer. We have developed the software app which will be there in the entire city, every doctor, and please involve BAMS and BHMS doctors in also this, because they have better relationship with the patient. Please involve the general practitioner of your patient when he is bad. Call the general practitioner, make him sit in a VIP room, serve him a nice tea if it is afternoon lunch, and tell him that please help me in communication of this patient, as you know the family very well. So we have developed one app where we have a default setting that if whenever there is a violence, any of the staff or the doctor, if he just presses a button on the screen of the phone, a siren will buzz on the phone of each and every doctor in the city, and a location will pop up, and immediately, just don't see the location, go and rush for help. Because whenever there is a issue, and within 5 to 10 minutes, you must have seen rickshawalas. If you start arguing with the rickshawalas, immediately 20, 25, 30 rickshawalas come and they shield him and they tell, ha काय चालू आहे रे, काय म्हणताय, तू बाजूला हो, मी बोलतो. So this is the trend that we should have in medical field. 50, 60 doctors gathering in 5 minutes is a terrifying situation for the relatives. Believe me, and I don't know when we will when we will do these things. Why we run away? Why we run away? And you never know when the fire will come to your home. This is the thing. One thing I think every place, every city should do. There are constant violent defaulters who have created violence at more than one places. Notify the names of these patients to all the hospitals, and although you may not refuse treatment, but tell them that you have created violence and this is not done. We are not going to take this in any way. As we know that all insurance companies, they do this. They delist the hospital from all the insurance companies for if they have done fraudulence with even a single insurance company. Having bouncers or a group of bouncers who are placed at somewhere, who are lodged at some place, is also a good idea. Having 1 or 2 bouncers, it will cost hardly 25,000 to around 30,000 rupees, 15-20,000 rupees bouncers, or you catch hold of a good bodybuilder, you support his nutrition, give him protein powders, something, and tell that you work with me as a bouncer part-time at least in peak hours. And yes, for big hospitals, they have started this practice. And we have to, meaning because the time has come, meaning as I said, की वेळ चांगली नाहीये, माणसं चांगली असतात, पण वेळ चांगली नसते. That is the problem. This is a modified code gray, wherein whenever there is a violence, you should have a huge alarm which can be heard on all the floors, all the places, and as soon as the alarm rings, all the staff, like we have a fire alarm, we should have a alarm for which I call as modified code gray, and a place should be designated wherein the assembly point for violence, and you write this in the hospital and let the patients understand that if something is going to happen, all the staff is going to gather here, and have a mock drill about the violence as to which staff is going to do what. One staff is going to inform the police, one staff is going to click the button of the app which will ring to all the doctors. One staff is going to, the staff who are a bit aggressive, they are going to take the charge. All these things we should do. there should be, I think there should be one WhatsApp group. If you don't have the app, that is okay. App is a very long story. At least have one dedicated group for notifying violent incidents in the city. And no happy birthday, no election, no vice president voting, nothing on the group. Only message of violence, pin the group, keep it up, and as soon as the message comes on the group, please rush to the hospital. Kolhapur, Dr. Abhyankar, Kolhapur model as I call it, they have done a very good thing. They have prepared a group with the local police station, the superintendent of police, commissioner of police, and as soon as there is some problem, even the commissioner and the SP gets the message, and few people come, and whenever there is a change of bar, whenever a new SP comes, whenever a new commissioner comes, they call the police people and they train them about this WhatsApp group. I think this is thing that we can do. Display of law and photos in the hospital. Next time you wish birthday to your colleague, don't give him bouquet or any gift. Just give him this photograph. I give it to many of my doctor friends and tell and make a rule that in Bidar, every doctor will display this photograph in huge letters. I'll read it in English because this is in Marathi. No physician, this is about great Alexander, King Alexander. This is photograph of King Alexander. When no physician was ready to treat Alexander the Great due to fear of punishment for failure, after the king issued an order that no physician would be punished if I died, they agreed to provide the treatment. Have good relationship with police, media, collector, politicians. I think call them in between for meetings, discuss the problem, tell them that if there are going to be violent incidents, this is going to be our action, and then we are not going to be in a mood to listen to any of you. I think mix with the societies, shed allergies for public programs, at least the representatives of the association, they should go for the major programs, any religious ceremonies, and make a presence and tell them that we are part of the society. Have staff from all communities so that on the festivals, your hospital doesn't have a deserted look. Like Diwali, all the Hindu staff goes, at least Muslim staff is there. Eid, if the Muslim staff goes, at least the Hindu staff is there. A common response that I see from doctors is strike. And I have never seen, I am against all these IMA strategies of strike and black ribbons. You are wearing a black ribbon. What nonsense. Who notices that? Who notices? The people even don't know that you are wearing a black ribbon on your thing. So these are all, I think these things are just creating a perception that we are doing something and they are not going to yield result. Strike, it will get more public dissatisfaction and more hospital attacks. Yes, if you want to do a strike, it should be a nationwide, just do a single day nationwide strike. But it should be so strict that all the countries' prime ministers and presidents should tweet that we request the doctors of India to stop this strike. Are we ready for that level of strike? If you want to strike, strike it so hard that the country breaks down. And if you are not going to do it, just don't do any natak. Just don't do it. Because it is, meaning I feel it becomes a laughing stock and nothing more than that. There is a strike meeting in the IMA and the wife of the IMA president is attending patient in the OPD. How the things are going to work? So I think this, I feel bad. So that's the reason I become so aggressive when I talk about these things. As I said, black ribbons, political representation and nuisance value is very important. And I feel that one doctor from the city, he should be funded in a small way by every doctor and he should contest an election. He may lose. He may sacrifice his deposit, but at least you have a political representation. And I promise you, if you are going to file papers for the contest, all the political leaders are going to come to you and tell you that please don't do this, we will help you when you are in problem. So I think let us think about some ways, let us do some brainstorming wherein we have a nuisance value in the society. And at the same time, we have to pressurize government, bureaucracy, police, judiciary, media, everyone. This is Dr. Datta Samant, who was from my alma mater, and he led the biggest labor organization and the famous Girni Kamgar Sampa in Mumbai, which lasted for 15-20 years and which is a big story in the history of organization. And he was from KEM, GS Medical College, my institute, and he always said that workers join forces, building unions that yield real power. Doctors and intellectuals, too often divided, leave their unions frail and ineffective. Friends, I think it is the time that we all forget our intellect, follow a single leadership. See, what happens is when too many intellect come together, everyone is thinking in a different way, and so they never come together. So when we are coming together, just keep out your brains in your OPDs and follow whatever the leader says as it is done in the army. Only then, he may be wrong, your leader may be wrong, you may think of changing him after some time, but follow one single path that is given by the leader. And I think that it is a time we think when and how we will be taken seriously by all the system, police, judiciary, politicians, the rulers, everyone. Also, let us check our own moralities if we are going wrong somewhere. And in the last, I would say that silence of the truthful and the principled is more harmful to this world than heinous acts of the devil. So always don't be silent, raise your voice, protect ourselves, protect our fellow doctors, fellow beings against medical violence. As my idol, Hindu Hriday Samrat Balasaheb Thackeray, when he formed the Shiva Sena, he said that Aika ani thanda basa or Aika ani petun utha. That means don't just listen to me and sit silently in your hospital. Listen and arise and awaken against this heinous act of hospital violence and act in your own way and give a thought to the organization, whatever you feel. Thank you very much, friends.